Hi there, my name is Callum Thompson. I'm an academic developer for learning technologies in the Quality and Enhancement Office here at the University of Salford. And in this short video, I'm going to show you how you can upload a video file as a piece of feedback directly to a student in Blackboard here at the University of Salford. So we're going to look at Blackboard, obviously. We're going to do this simply through the assignment tool, and we're then going to make use of a platform that we have access to called Helix, which is attached to Blackboard. Now, it's a surprisingly simple process. This video assumes that you have a video file already made which has feedback in it. You could create one of them perhaps in Screencast-O-Matic. If you want more information about how to give video feedback, then we do run workshops on how to create video feedback and how to structure video feedback. So if you want to learn more about that, do get in contact with a colleague in the Quality and Enhancement Office and we can run one of those workshops with your team. For now though, as we say, we're going to start from the point where we assume that there is already a video file we want to provide to a student, and we're going to work through the technical flow for how we get that video file back to the student. So if I come out of here, and we'll just begin by looking at what the student actually sees when they get this video file back, so we have an idea of what we're aiming for as the end product, if you like. So I'm currently logged in as a dummy student called Amy, and I'm going to scroll down and go to the page where we have our assignment set up. So Amy has submitted a document to an assignment that I've set. It's about making a cup of tea, and if I go into the assignment that has been submitted, I can see here, but what Amy gets back is, rather than having a lot of text which is fed back there, or having a file submitted to them, such as a text file, they have this video file instead. So if we click on here, then we can see we have this video file which will play back to us. So you can perhaps hear some of the audio over the top of there, and I can make that full screen, and if I was to skip forward in that video, then you can see that what I've done is I've worked through on screen a number of points I've highlighted within the document and provided feedback around here. So what I've done is I've made some short notes around the document, and then I've done a screen record over the top, and I've been able to add lots of extra information in there and clarify what I'm talking about in the document. So it's a good way to give really clear feedback. I'll just pause that for now. So that's what the student gets back in the end, but how do we get that up there in the first place? So I'll show you now how you upload this video file into Blackboard as a piece of feedback. Now, the first thing to say is that we don't need to set up any kind of different assignment. This works with Blackboard assignments, so it won't work with Turnitin at the moment, but with Blackboard assignments we have the ability to upload this file into the student's feedback. So if I log out of this dummy student account and log back in as myself, then I have another student who's uploaded a dummy assessment, which I'll go and I'll give them a piece of feedback now from. So if I just show you on my desktop, I have this was Amy's feedback. I'm just going to upload this again. So I have a video feedback. This was created in Screencast-O-Matic and then saved as a file. And what I'm going to do is I shall go into the course where I set the assignment, which is this one. And then I've got my assessment set up, but as usual I'll go into the grade center and I'll look at assignments within here, and then I can go in and look at the attempts which have been made. Now if I look down here, we can see that Gary has also submitted, and here's our assignment. So I'm going to look at this attempt, which is here, and I'm sure this will be familiar to many people watching this video. So this is a Blackboard assignment that's been set up, and here we can see the student's assignment, and we have the option to give a grade, and if we click in the grade we can give some feedback as well. Okay, so in the feedback box I'll start off by just giving it a grade. I'll give it 60 for now. Now what I want to do is open up the text editor which is available for this feedback. So I do that by clicking on the A icon at the bottom here. So if I click on A, that brings up a little pop-up window which has, I'm sure will be a familiar text editor within it. Now something to point out at this point is that the way that we upload a video here can be done anywhere in Blackboard, which you can see this toolbar, and in particular this button that says mashups, and it has a little menu that pops out below it. Now when we upload into the student's feedback area, it's private to the student, so no other student can see this, because only the student who we're giving the feedback to can see the text which would be in that area which we're going to enter here. However, if you want to set up a label or any piece of text elsewhere in Blackboard, then you can upload video in exactly the same way as we're going to do just now. And it will go onto the Helix media server, and it will play back in the same way. So what we want to do is, we've got our text box open, and instead of typing in any feedback here, we're going to go to this drop down menu and select Helix Media Library. So if I select this Helix Media Library, it will ask me to log in, and once logged in, I get this pop-up window where I can upload or search. So if I have a video already uploaded that I want to share with the student, I can do that, but in this case I'm going to be uploading some feedback, so I just want to select the upload, and I'll give it a title. Now we'll call it Gary's feedback, although I do know that it's Amy's feedback in the video. Now this part is quite important. We're uploading Gary's feedback. We want to make sure that from the category we select personal, and that will keep it private to us and the student. So we'll upload it into our account. The student gets access to it through their feedback area in Blackboard, but it can't be accessed from anywhere else, so no one will be able to stumble upon it if they were looking at the Helix Media Server library. If we select any of these options here, it makes it available to other people who have access to Helix. So perhaps if another member of staff or even a student at some point went on and accessed the Helix library, then they would be able to view it. So if we set it to personal, that keeps it private. Okay, we can then give it a description, so we could perhaps say, here is your feedback. And then we don't need to worry about adding any tags or anything, because again, this is private to the student. We don't want it to be searchable at all. I then just need to click that I agree to the terms of use and the disclaimer, and then click next. And then we can choose our file. Now you can see you can upload up to 1 GB here. You probably won't need that if you've created a short feedback video in Screencast-O-Matic, so it's fairly limitless for what we want to upload. But we select Browse, and then from our file browser, we just go down and we find our video file. So this is my video file here, and I click Open, and that will upload. Now you'll see that this is just short of 100 megabytes, but it does upload very quickly. If you're on campus, the connection to the server is very fast, so it will upload the file quickly. Once that's uploaded, we click Next, and then we have options for thumbnails. Now all this page does, it means that if you have faces on screen, for example, and it's paused in a funny way in one of these little pictures that you can see here, you can select the one that is the most is nicest for you, especially if you have a face like mine that pauses at certain times on screen and looks a bit funny. So you can choose the thumbnail, and the thumbnail will be the picture that will pop up to the student to let them see the video. And then we click Next. And then if you want to add any other files, so if perhaps you have a written document that you want to attach to this, or any other like audio documents and things, then you can upload these and attach them to the file here, but you don't need to. And sometimes it might be better to actually do that within Blackboard for the sake of feedback. So I'm just going to click Next here, and then we can see our thumbnail that we've chosen. I've actually chosen a bad one there because it's me leaning over to one side, but that's okay. You can see we've got some information here, and then we just click Finish. And that will now process the file. Now, once you've uploaded a video file, it will take a while to process through. A video of this length, for example, I've found that it takes maybe 20-30 minutes to actually process. So you'd want to have all of this ready and uploaded maybe the night before. Processing can depend on the size of the file, the length of the file, or even just how busy the server is at that time. So if you make sure you give it a little bit of time to process and don't expect anything immediate. However, once you've uploaded, you will see that this processing video picture comes up. Now, to get that to go back into Blackboard now, if we scroll down the page, we have this option where we can select media size and some information that we want to include. I would recommend for feedback files, if we want it to pop up in the feedback text, we select this 320 by 260. Now that does make the the thumbnail for the video quite small, but they can make that full screen quite easily. So we select 320 by 260. If you want to allow them to download the video file, you can include a download link. If you want the title of the video to be there and the description that you've added, you can tick them as well. And then we just click finish. And what we can now see is we have our thumbnail of the video showing in the text, and we have the title, the description that we put in, the date that we added, and then who added it as well. And then we can just click submit. Okay, so that is now our feedback available to the student once the video has processed. Okay, so if we submit that, then when the student next logs in, they'll be able to go in and look at that submission, and then beside that they'll see the link to the video file, and when they click on that, they'll be able to watch the video back, just like we did in the demonstration at the beginning of the video. So that's how we can upload video files into Blackboard as a personalised private video for a student as a piece of feedback. So it's just using the Blackboard assignment tool. So the student submits to the Blackboard assignment tool, and then we can use that text editor to upload into Helix Media Server using the mashups button. If you have any questions about any of this, then you can get in touch with myself the academic developers in the Quality Enhancement Office, or a member of the Digital Skills team also in the Quality Enhancement Office. And if you want to find out more about actually forming video feedback, as I say, we run a workshop on video feedback where you can find out more about that as well. So I hope that you find this useful, and that you will start using video for providing students feedback. Thank you.